pages, but every American ought to read it. So, and read it knowing that it is a socialist plot. It is an elitist plot to have control of every facet of your life. And proof of that is easy enough, since we have here in the city of Las Vegas, coming up on this city council meeting, the resolution committing the city increasing access to health foods and adopting a food access policy and planning guide. Now that sounds real nice, right? Except that the city of Las Vegas food access policy, how many pages is this thing?
It's like 12 pages.
Okay, 12 pages, and you can bet, access to food means that you don't have to, you can just walk across the street and get your food.
Quarter mile.
Everything within a quarter of a mile. You can ride a bicycle, you won't need a car anymore. That'll cut down on, greenhouse gas emissions.
That the plants need.
Yeah. I'd like to go into this greenhouse gas crap, because the fact of the matter is that the North American continent has been sinking CO2 more than it's been emitting CO2 over the past 2 decades. Why? Because we plant more trees than we cut. Farmland that's no longer farmed is planted with trees.
Someone wants to
Before
know-
they started spraying this crap in our air, foliage was increasing, plant life was increasing, and for some reason that didn't suit the government or the powers that be and Monsanto. Now we're going to go into Monsanto a lot deeper, but let's talk about take a moment, I know I'm skipping around, talk about chemtrails.
Someone wants to know what else is in the food access policy.
Oh, let's see. A bunch of stuff.
Can we get more details?
Yes, you can go, as a matter of fact, you can download the Food Access Policy and Planning Guide.
I posted it on Facebook.
Okay, Melissa will post it on Facebook, and we're going to try to initiate an information package about this in Agenda 21 and Monsanto. We're going to start pounding. We do better by sending information packages to each council member, delivering them. Melissa and I have done it. Because they remember who you are. Trust me.
I think you're hard to forget anyway.
And we're going to start doing it with the legislators. If we've got to go up to Carson City and walk in, what's the guy's name that blocked the bill?
Cedarblum?
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, if we got to walk into his office, or if we have got to ambush him somewhere, he's going to get the package.
I have a question about the resolution. I know that when we were fighting the drone resolution issue, we kicked ourselves for not telling them to rewrite it. You know what I mean? Now, I looked through, did you actually look through the actual 3-page resolution?
Yeah.
Okay, so I looked through that, and there are some good things in there, but they're twisted. You know what I mean? It's like the thing about making space for gardens and taking away like restrictions on you to have your own garden. That's about the only good thing I see in there. But as long as they don't regulate what you can put in your garden.
But the thing about it is, they want to regulate what you can put in your garden because they want you to use
Genetically
GMO
modified
seeds.
Yeah,
they're going to. Well,
Things that
because
don't require
Monsanto,
water.
that's what Monsanto's all about. But there are a lot of arms of Monsanto. Okay.
I was just wondering if maybe like Like what if we rewrote the resolution? I mean, and then submitted it to them. Like, is that something worth talking about?
Well, the problem is the intent of the resolution is
Yeah.
Agenda 21.
Truly.
So if we rewrite it, no, we want to stop it. We don't want to rewrite it because we want to stop Agenda 21. Agenda 21 goes against, in the first place, it's oppressive.
Clearly.
I mean, it's clearly about people control, not about your benefit.
True,
Okay?
but I was just saying, if we took the resolution and we said, because they do have, like, it's like the city council is like a huge HOA, right? And they'll come around and say, you can't have a garden here because it's blah, 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 blah. And if we actually were able to get them to acknowledge that, hey, take away the regulations on having a garden in your freaking yard, you know what I mean? Like, they shouldn't have any kind of, so, I mean, if we took something like that and kind of just made it like a page and just said, yes, this is what you should do with healthy food, right? You know, let the farmers market.
Why don't
go
we do
wherever.
this? Why don't we do this? Why don't we write a resolution?
Right,
Write a resolution,
counter resolution.
a counter resolution for the adoption of an anti-Agenda 21.
How do you submit something like that to the city council?
I have no idea. I take it to them and put it in their face.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I usually do it.
We should talk to Daphne about how she got that one thing taken up by the city council about the NDAA.
Yeah, we need to, yes, that's a good idea. And,
I've heard of cities adopting, there was one in Atlanta that just adopted an anti-NDAA policy and they would not implement anything that had to do with that.
What people need to understand, and you bring it up, you brought it up, and I need to address this.
Mhm.
What people need to understand is that the NDAA is the enforcement arm of Agenda 21. You have to understand that they're going to use the NDAA legislation to enforce their Agenda 21 objectives, okay?
Mhm.
So everything that comes out, like this City of Las Vegas food access policy, they're not telling you that they are going to force it on you once they adopt it. They do things, it sounds all fruity and good and it smells good, and then when they actually do it, it stinks and they're standing over you. You can't do this, you can't do that. It's kind of like seatbelt laws. Back when they started that crap, I fought violently. I was vigilant in that battle against it and tried to explain to people that once they initiated that law, they could be able to go into your automobile, which was totally unconstitutional and had been prevented up to that time without a warrant, just like when they went and come into your house. Well, I failed. We have seatbelt laws. But it also brought up, after I saw it happening, the enforcement of it is it's like the monkey principle. They force you to do it so long that it becomes automatic. You get in the car, you put your seatbelt on because you don't want to pay the fine, right? Well, you do it over and over and over, and it becomes automatic. So what are you doing? You're learning to follow their command. What's the latest one? I was trying to think. There's another good one. But we're going to attack this milk thing with the governor too.
Well, maybe that'll include the healthy foods, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now that we can have farmers markets on every corner, which is fine, I'm all for farmers markets, you know what I mean? But like, do we really have to go changing the planning documents in the city to say that, you know, you have to be able to have a grocery store within a quarter mile of your house and that you can only have so many liquor stores because they're also going to legislate against the unhealthy
But they're
food,
trying to do,
you know?
what you have to understand is when they do that, everything's going to go up.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about cash wise. I'm talking about the building. Building is going to go up.
Well, yeah, it's up, not out.
It goes up, not out.
Yeah.
And what happens is there's no such thing as private property.
Yeah.
They're doing away. The object is it sounds good. And we'll get into it when I go into Agenda
It's
21.
much easier to bomb a
It
city than
sounds,
everybody's in the city.
exactly, but it sounds good, it sounds all fruity. But the first two steps, the third step does away with the second step, or the last step does away with the second step.
Mhm.
And it simply doesn't work. What they're doing now, this development, this sustainable development program, and rebuilding the inner cities, it sounds good to them,
Oh, it
because
does.
you have the property owners and this and that are involved and all. But what they don't realize is that when it all accumulates and they get to the end run, they don't own that property. The government does.
Yes.
And so therefore, they'll confiscate it, eminent domain, they'll confiscate it to run it like it should be run, and they'll hold it like it should be held. And all these realtors and all these people involved in these things are gonna find out that they have absolutely no interest in it.
The
because-
city is literally a giant HOA.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. It gets bigger and bigger. I mean, and what they don't understand, I don't know whether, maybe they didn't read Agenda 21 and have the reading comprehension to understand what the true objectives are. Because the elites have made
No bones about it.
they've made no bones about it. They want to do away with property. That's a Marxist goal.
Yeah.
They want to do away with, there's no such thing as private property. Government owns it all, and every citizen owned by the government, because that's what citizen means.
Get rid of the family.
You know, I got a little, I'm gonna have to reach over here for a minute.
Okay.
Let me see, have I got one? Got this little book. It's a real good book. Came from InfoWars, okay? Because I ordered a couple of books through Amazon, and it came from InfoWars. And I get them real quick now because I've ordered so many books from them. They like me. Anyway, it's called The Citizen's Rule Book. Now I looked at that title and I thought, huh? Don't we have enough Citizens Rule books? We got Title 38, Title 17. I mean, we got a whole UNC, whole United Code. And then I went in here, and there's a whole bunch of good information in here. There really is a whole bunch of good information in here.
You want some water?
And no,
Okay.
I'll just choke to death.
All right.
Anyway, it tells about jury rights and what jury should be, and the handbook of for jurors. And I mean, there's just a wealth of information here in a little bitty book, and I like it, except that it says Citizens Rule Book. I'm sorry, that denotes that I'm a slave of the state. That's a problem. That's a problem. And of course, we have to function within parameters. So we've got to go before the city council and find a way to educate these people. And I say that, I'm not being facetious. They need to understand that the things that they are doing now are going to affect their progeny as well as ours, okay? They have to learn that their self-interest, their
green agenda.
yeah, their green agenda, but no, their green agenda is money.
Well, but I was
Okay.
gonna say, the problem with city council is that they really don't, I don't think that they really see the problem. I think they think they're doing something good.
Yes, of course,
And
because
that's
it all sounds tutti frutti.
Right, and
And-
hey, saving the environment's good, and I'm like not saying that it's not, like you're really doing it, like through chemtrails,
Yeah, sure.
like, other pollution
If
that
you're
really
if
matters.
you're really doing something for, especially magnonously, for the environment that's real, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But this chemtrail thing, for example,
That's a
has
problem.
destroyed the coconut trees in Hawaii, and the people know it.
And they're not
I
doing
mean,
anything about that.
The things that are obvious. I mean, you watch these planes lay grids of aerosol and have somebody try to tell me, oh, that's natural. Oh, come on, please, people, wake the hell up. And if they're spraying something, I don't care what it is. I don't care if they're spraying water. It's not right. And they admit that they're spraying. There's aluminum, there's barium, there's all of these chemicals that are way above the toxic levels of the CDC, and they won't let the EPA talk about it, and we get an F for pollution here in Las Vegas, and the city council doesn't even know that we're not the ones contributing to that pollution. What's contributing to that pollution is what they're spraying on us. And anybody that will look up can see it never goes more than 3 days without them spraying. Sometimes they come day after day after day. And you can tell the difference because it'll go from horizon to horizon without dissipating.
Well, they're flat. They're just flat, weird looking.
And you watch them. Well, some take different forms. So they're not, obviously they're not always spraying the same damn thing. Okay.
Yeah.
But the important thing, the government has admitted it. The DOJ back in 1995, the DOD had a meeting about it, weather control and what have you. The Monsanto in 2010 advertised development of an aluminum resistant seed. So they're doing these hybrid seeds to resist what they're spraying on us, and they're forcing people. Already in Hawaii, there are places that have been forced to turn to GMO foods because it's the only way they can survive.
All right, we got to wrap it up.
I hope to see you all. I hope to hear from some of you on the city council meeting Wednesday for the city council.
We'll make a page for it on Facebook. I'll get with Tasha.
And we'll prepare a
counter
resolution. We'll prepare be prepared to fight.
Because they have, the city attorney has recommended this resolution pass. So the recommendation of the city attorney is to pass the resolution
And what does the city attorney know anything about? Agenda 21, what does the city attorney know anything about food access policy and planning? Where does this guy get the expertise? Who is feeding him the expertise to make a decision on this?
Oh yeah, they have some companies that they quote that they did studies on.
Yeah, but here's the thing, you've got the EPA, you have the EPA, you gotta remember that the Agenda 21, when they're getting the financing for all this, they get, every city involved in the development of this it goes through HUD, Department of Transportation, and the EPA. There's another one.
Well, and then for the redevelopment stuff that they do, which is huge, that comes directly out of your property taxes to do that stuff.
Yeah, and when you make an application, it goes through HUD, it goes to the Department of Transportation, and
Oh no, I don't remember. An application for what?
Any application, well, for these
Programs? What?
for these programs that are
the planning department?
the planning department,
Yeah.
the
third one? I don't know.
yeah, for the sustainable development.
Yeah.
And so it's set up so Department of Transportation, HUD, and I think it's the EPA, but there's three state departments that are involved in getting the application.
Well, it would absolutely be the EPA.
And they were, well, you'd think the Food and Drug Administration would be involved too, but they're not, or at least not directly, because the application actually goes through HUD.
Application for what?
The application for the funds for the
Program?
sustainable development
Okay.
of these communities, which is, in our city, our whole city. So that you doctor it up, set it up in sections, and they've already got the sections designed. I think it's in here even, the map.
Yeah, I was wondering if for that.
That's what the map's for.
I thought that if we complied with these types of regulations and environmental regulations, we got federal funding, but like, as in like if we make the speed limit on the roads X, like 65.
You
like
get
that
some,
type of
yeah,
stuff.
but that's federal funding for something entirely different.
Right, but I'm just saying that's how we
This,
did that.
this is the setup, this is how it's set up, and I've got the whole design, I'll have to go through it.
Yeah, we'll have to go into it next time because we're really running out of time.
Okay,
Okay.
let's cut it for today, and because, like I said, I intended this to be a history lesson, but it's got to be more than that.
Okay, thanks.